Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Daily English Podcast. I'm Connor, your host.
And I'm Linda, the co host. Great to be here with you today, Connor.
Thanks, Linda. So, today we're going to talk about something that everyone experiences, but not everyone likes to discuss. We're talking about handling mistakes.
Oh, yes. This is such a relevant topic. Everyone makes mistakes, but not everyone knows how to deal with them properly.
Exactly. I actually made a mistake just this morning. I sent an email to the wrong person at work.
Oh, no. That's awkward. What did you do?
Well, I immediately sent another email apologizing and explaining the situation. Then I sent the correct email to the right person.
That's the right approach. You caught it quickly and fixed it right away.
Yes, but I still felt embarrassed about it. Even small mistakes can make you feel uncomfortable.
That's completely normal. I think we all feel that way when we mess up, even with small things.
So true. But you know what? I've learned that how we handle our mistakes is more important than the mistakes themselves.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. A mistake is just a moment, but how you respond to it defines your character.
Well said. So let's talk about different types of mistakes. What kinds of mistakes do people commonly make?
Well, there are small everyday mistakes like forgetting someone's name or being late to a meeting.
Right, those happen to everyone. Then there are bigger mistakes like missing an important deadline or saying something hurtful to someone.
Yes, and I think the approach to handling them should be similar, but the consequences are different.
That's a good point. Can you tell us about a bigger mistake you made and how you handled it?
Sure. A few years ago, I was organizing an event for my company. I forgot to book the catering until the day before the event.
Oh, wow, that's stressful. What happened?
I panicked at first, but then I immediately called every catering company I could find. I explained the situation honestly.
And were you able to find someone?
Yes, fortunately, one company had a cancellation and could help us, but I had to pay extra for the rush order.
At least you found a solution. Did you tell your boss what happened?
Yes, I did. I went to her immediately and explained everything. I told her about the mistake and how I fixed it.
How did she react?
She wasn't happy about the extra cost, but she appreciated my honesty and quick action to solve the problem.
That's great. I think honesty is really important when dealing with mistakes.
Definitely. Trying to hide mistakes usually makes things worse. What about you, Connor? Have you made a big mistake at work?
Yes, I once deleted an important file by accident. It had data that my team needed for a presentation the next day.
Oh no, that sounds terrible. What did you do?
First, I tried to recover it from the recycle bin, but it wasn't there. Then I checked if we had a backup.
Did you have one?
Luckily, yes, our IT department had backed up the file from the previous week. We lost a few days of work, but not everything.
That's a relief. Did you tell your team right away?
Yes, I called an emergency meeting and explained what happened. I apologized, and we worked late that night to recreate the missing work.
That shows good leadership. You took responsibility and found a solution.
Thank you. But I learned an important lesson about always backing up important files.
That's the thing about mistakes. They're learning opportunities if we approach them correctly.
Exactly. Every mistake teaches us something. Now, let's talk about how people react differently to mistakes. Some people get very defensive, don't they?
Oh, yes, that's very common. When someone points out their mistake, they immediately make excuses or blame others.
Right. I think that's a natural defensive reaction, but it's not helpful.
No, it's not. It prevents you from learning and it damages your relationships with others.
What do you think causes that defensive reaction?
I think it's often about ego and fear. People are afraid of looking incompetent or being judged.
That makes sense. There's a lot of pressure in our society to be perfect.
Exactly. But perfection is impossible. Everyone makes mistakes.
Right. I think accepting that we're all imperfect makes it easier to admit when we mess up.
Absolutely. It takes the pressure off. You don't have to pretend to be perfect.
So, how do you think people should respond when they make a mistake?
Well, first, they should acknowledge it quickly. Don't wait and hope nobody notices.
Good point. The sooner you address it, the better.
Yes, and then apologize sincerely if the mistake affected other people.
Right. A genuine apology goes a long way.
Then take action to fix the mistake if possible.
And finally, learn from it so you don't repeat the same mistake.
Exactly. Those are the 4 key steps: acknowledge, apologize, fix, and learn.
I like that. It's a simple framework that anyone can follow.
Yes, and it works for both personal and professional mistakes.
Speaking of personal mistakes, what about mistakes in relationships? Those can be harder to fix.
Oh, yes, definitely. Relationship mistakes often involve emotions and hurt feelings.
Right, like saying something mean in an argument or forgetting an important anniversary.
Yes, those mistakes can really damage a relationship if not handled properly.
Have you ever made a mistake that hurt someone's feelings?
Yes, I have. I once made a joke about my friend's new haircut without thinking. I thought it was funny, but she was really hurt.
Oh, no. How did you fix that?
I apologized immediately when I realized she was upset. I explained that I didn't mean to hurt her and that I actually thought her haircut looked nice.
Did she forgive you?
Yes, she did. But I learned to think before I speak, especially about personal things like appearance.
That's an important lesson. Words can hurt even when we don't mean them to.
Exactly. And you can't take words back once they're said.
Very true. What about mistakes in parenting? That must be challenging because you're responsible for another person's well-being.
Oh, yes, that's a whole different level. Parents make mistakes all the time because parenting is so complex.
Right, there's no perfect manual for raising children.
No, and every child is different. What works for one might not work for another.
Do you think parents should admit their mistakes to their children?
Absolutely. I think it teaches children that everyone makes mistakes and it's okay to admit when you're wrong.
That's a good point. It models good behavior.
Yes, and it shows children that adults aren't perfect either. That can actually be comforting for them.
I agree. It makes the parent more relatable and human.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about a difficult situation. What if you make a mistake, but someone else gets blamed for it?
Ooh, that's a tough one. That really tests your character.
It does. Have you ever been in that situation?
Yes, actually. In my first job, I made an error in a report, but my colleague got blamed because she submitted it.
What did you do?
I went to our manager immediately and explained that it was my mistake, not hers.
That must have been hard to do.
It was, especially because I was new and wanted to make a good impression, but I knew it was the right thing to do.
How did it turn out?
My manager appreciated my honesty, and my colleague was very grateful that I spoke up.
That's wonderful. It probably strengthened your relationship with her.
It did. We became good friends after that because she knew she could trust me.
That's a great example of integrity. Doing the right thing, even when it's difficult.
Thank you, but it shouldn't be that hard, right? We should always take responsibility for our own mistakes.
You're right, but unfortunately, not everyone does. Some people are happy to let others take the blame.
That's true, and that kind of behavior destroys trust in teams and relationships.
Absolutely. Trust is so important in any relationship, whether personal or professional.
So let's talk about something else. What about when other people make mistakes? How should we respond to them?
That's a great question. I think we should be understanding and supportive.
Right. We all make mistakes, so we should extend grace to others when they mess up.
Exactly. Unless it's a repeated pattern or someone isn't taking responsibility, we should be forgiving.
Good point. There's a difference between making an honest mistake and being careless or irresponsible.
Yes, exactly. If someone keeps making the same mistake and not learning from it, that's a different issue.
Right. But for genuine mistakes, we should be kind and help the person fix the problem if we can.
Absolutely. Criticism should be constructive, not destructive.
What do you mean by that?
Well, destructive criticism is just pointing out what someone did wrong and making them feel bad about it.
Right. That doesn't help anyone.
No. But constructive criticism explains what went wrong and offers suggestions for improvement.
So it's focused on helping the person do better next time.
Exactly. It's about growth and learning, not punishment.
That's a much healthier approach. Now let's talk about perfectionism. Do you think perfectionism makes it harder to handle mistakes?
Oh, definitely. Perfectionists often struggle with mistakes because they see them as failures.
Right, but mistakes aren't failures. They're just part of the learning process.
Exactly. But perfectionists have a hard time accepting that.
Are you a perfectionist, Linda?
I used to be more perfectionist when I was younger. I've learned to be easier on myself over the years.
What changed?
I realized that perfectionism was making me anxious and unhappy.
I was so afraid of making mistakes that I wasn't taking risks or trying new things.
That must have been limiting.
It was, and I missed out on opportunities because I was afraid I wouldn't do them perfectly.
How did you overcome that?
I started practicing self-compassion. When I made a mistake, I treated myself the way I would treat a good friend.
That's a great approach. We're often much harder on ourselves than we are on others.
Exactly. If a friend made a mistake, I would be understanding and supportive. So why not treat myself the same way?
That makes perfect sense. Self-compassion is so important.
Yes, and it makes handling mistakes much easier.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about public mistakes, like mistakes on social media or mistakes that many people witness.
Oh, that's challenging. Public mistakes can feel more embarrassing because more people know about them.
Right. Have you ever made a public mistake?
Yes, I once gave a presentation and my facts were wrong. Someone in the audience corrected me in front of everyone.
Oh no, how did you feel?
I was mortified at first. My face turned red and I wanted to disappear.
What did you do?
I took a deep breath and thanked the person for the correction. I admitted I had the wrong information and apologized.
That takes courage.
It was. But afterward, people came up to me and said they respected how I handled it.
That's great. People appreciate humility and honesty.
Yes, and I learned to double-check my facts before presentations.
Another valuable lesson. What about mistakes in the digital age? Like sending a text to the wrong person or posting something embarrassing online?
Oh, yes, digital mistakes can spread quickly and be hard to undo.
Right. Once something is online, it can be screenshot and shared.
Exactly, so we need to be extra careful with digital communication.
What advice would you give for handling digital mistakes?
Well, if you send something to the wrong person, acknowledge it quickly. Don't ignore it and hope they didn't notice.
Right. And if you post something inappropriate online, delete it and apologize if necessary.
Yes, and be more mindful in the future. Think before you post or send.
Good advice. The internet is forever, as they say.
Exactly, so we need to be careful. Now, Connor, what do you think is the biggest mistake people make when handling mistakes?
That's an interesting question. I think the biggest mistake is not admitting the mistake in the first place.
Yes, denial or trying to cover it up.
Right. Because that usually makes things worse when the truth eventually comes out.
Absolutely. And it damages your credibility and trustworthiness.
Exactly. It's always better to be honest up front.
I agree. What else would you add?
I think another big mistake is not learning from your errors. If you keep making the same mistakes over and over, that's a problem.
Yes, that shows you're not reflecting on your actions or changing your behavior.
Right. Mistakes should be learning opportunities.
Absolutely. Well, Connor, I think we've covered a lot about handling mistakes today.
We really have. I hope our listeners feel more confident about dealing with their own mistakes now.
Me too. Remember, everyone, mistakes are normal and human. What matters is how you respond to them.
Exactly. Be honest, take responsibility, fix what you can, and learn from the experience.
And be kind to yourself and others when mistakes happen.
Great advice, Linda. Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode.
Thank you all so much for listening to Daily English Podcast.
If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
Yes, and give us a like. It really helps us reach more English learners.
Absolutely. Your support means everything to us.
And if you have topics you'd like us to discuss, leave a comment below.
Yes, we love hearing from you, and your suggestions help us create better content.
Until next time, remember that mistakes are okay. We all make them.
That's right. Be kind to yourself and keep learning. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, and see you in the next episode.